what to rent, and what to skip. It's Movie Reviews with Ryan J.
It sure is. It's Friday, and we're back now with the nationally syndicated film critic Ryan J. And he's got some good news if you're heading to the theater this weekend. That's right. Welcome back, Ryan.
Thank you.
I'm excited for this because everybody's been talking about it. Guardians of the Galaxy. Let's start there. It's PG-13. Everybody wants to know.
You know, I was unfamiliar with these characters growing up. We all know who Batman and Superman and Spider-Man is, but I didn't know anything about this comic book series, so I was kind of walking in a little dubious, but I really liked it. It's cool. It's not the typical superhero movie from Marvel. It's actually more of a sci-fi comedy.
Okay. So a lot of people, when it gets to superheroes, they want to know who's playing which role. So how's the cast? Really
great. We have Chris Pratt, who's not the typical leading man, but he lost so much weight for this movie. He's in such great shape, and he's amazing, very charming. Then we have Zoe Saldana, who has already done major sci-fi franchises like Star Trek and Avatar, and now this one. So she's kind of become the golden girl of science fiction for this generation. She's great as a green girl. Every time I see her in this movie, there she is. I always couldn't help but think of Elphaba from Wicked.
Totally. Absolutely. Well, similar makeup or even kind of Avatar-esque.
Exactly.
You know?
And then also Bradley Cooper and Vin Diesel voice CGI characters, and they steal the show. They're both great.
All right. So packed, action-packed, really great. How about the soundtrack? Because in a lot of these movies, people like wait for the music to come out.
It's really unique what they did with the soundtrack here because Chris Pratt's character is a human who was abducted in his youth. The one thing he had with him was his Walkman with the mixtape. So all the songs in this movie on the soundtrack are great 70s pop songs.
Really?
So it's kind of a random juxtaposition that you're on this intergalactic, you know, multi-planetary adventure, but you're having great 70s pop American music, you know? It's really, really fun.
Intergalactic, planetary. That's good. So it did hook you? It hooked you?
It did. It absolutely. That's the thing. The first 20 minutes are super sci-fi and all these names and all the different, you know, colored people and everything. But then the comedy and the way that the characters relate to one another really do hook you. It's great.
All right. So this is
See it.
Yay! See it. Good. I could see this being one on the big screen.
Yeah,
so
it's a great
there
one.
you go. That's a good place to put your money this weekend. How about Get On Up? That's PG-13. I don't think I know what this is.
This is the biopic of James Brown, and you've heard me talk about it because my cousin Leah worked on this film as it was made earlier this year. I'm so proud of her, and she actually was an extra in one of the scenes. So about 20 minutes in, I got to see her, so I have to give her a quick shout out.
Did you find her? You
found
her in the
yeah.
scene?
There's like 3 shots of her about 20 minutes in. It's awesome.
This looks really pretty. Who directed this?
This is directed by Tate Taylor, who did The Help a few years ago, which was up for Best Picture and won an Oscar for supporting actress Octavia Spencer. She returns to this film to work with him again, as does Viola Davis, and they bring in Chadwick Boseman to play James Brown.
Okay.
He was Jackie Robinson in 42, and he is
phenomenal in that movie.
So phenomenal, even better in this movie. This movie is an Oscar-worthy performance. How he transforms himself into becoming James Brown. It's like, you know, when what's her name, Meryl Streep did Margaret Thatcher or Julia Child. He loses himself in this role. And James Brown, now, Chadwick Boseman is not a dancer, but he nails the choreography. The voice is really interesting because it's like if you try to understand what he's saying, if you actually listen to him, you can't understand because he mumbles and it's weird. But if you just let the film wash over you, you can totally follow. You know exactly what's going on. You understand every word. It's such an amazing performance from him.
And it's hard to play a real person, right? You know, to be a star and play somebody who people are familiar with. You really have to get lost at, wow, that dancing. Right? Like you said, that's awesome.
Amazing.
So how does it leave you feeling, you know, as you walk out of the theater?
It's a great look at his life. It's also a really interesting look at his childhood in the music industry at that time, but he had a sad life. So it is kind of a bit of a downer walking out, but it's a great movie. I recommended it to see it.
And you think this might be an Oscar contender?
I think it could. Even though it's coming out early in the year, it's definitely worth seeing, and there's so much great artistry to this movie.
All right, there's another see it for you. So far, you know, 2 for 2.
Good weekend, yeah.
I Origins, is that right? Rated R?
I Origins. I am
Is this scary?
No, I'm obsessed with this movie. This movie is smart and provocative and heartbreaking and shocking and has the power to change you. It's a really transformative film.
Okay, so what's the theme? I know nothing about this.
Right, it basically sparks the debate between science and spirituality. It's kind of the whole notion of like the eyes being the window to the soul. That's the play on eye origin because the scientist in the film is studying the eye. And then there's also a romantic drama subplot going on, so it's a nice mix of romance and science. It's not science fiction, it's actually science, but it's so brilliant. I was like so amazed by this movie. I almost wasn't prepared.
Looks indie.
It's very indie, very artistic, but not experimental, not weird, you know, and just super cool. But literally literally I wasn't braced for the fact that this movie was going to like have as profound an effect on me as it did. It's really brilliant.
I was kind of shocked to see. I know nothing about it. I didn't realize this was in theaters. And you said you stayed all the way for the credits.
Yeah, you have to stay to because at the end of the credits there is an extra scene that kind of is inspiring too and has implications too, and you'll want to talk about it afterward because there are some far-reaching implications that the theme of this film suggests. It's really brilliant. See it. I recommend it. This is a DVD I will own someday. Origins. It's fabulous.
All right, I like to hear that. Okay, you got 2 movie clubs coming up. People like to get in on these. What are they?
Yep, the first one we've been talking about for a while. It's Into the Storm.
Cannot
it's that
wait.
big tornado movie, and we actually have a giveaway for it. So the movie club is going to be Monday, August 4th at 7 p.m. You enter to win at my website. But in addition to coming to the website, one lucky winner will be receiving this awesome Into the Storm backpack with an emergency supply survival kit with all of these cool things inside of it.
That's pretty fancy.
So that's one lucky winner will get that at the movie club. The
Second
movie club is for the 100-foot journey, which is going to be Wednesday, August 6th. At 7 p.m. You enter on my website, and two people that win there are going to be getting this fantastic 100-foot journey prize pack, which has recipes and a whisk and a cutting board, an apron, and the book from the film. So lots of extra swag, Hollywood swag this week.
All right, we like it. Giveaways and free movies.
Yep.
Doesn't get any better than that. All right, so to like Ryan J on Facebook, do that. Follow him on Twitter. But for his full movie reviews, you got to go to his website. It's ryanjreviews.com, and take time to do that because you've got some great inside info when you really read through them. So
Appreciate
nice job. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.